Hi, everybody. Welcome to Holistic Healing Astrology. And my name is Ev Zervadakis. And thank you for joining me today. Today, we're going to talk about the moons of February and where they're going to be. And we're going to touch upon how the moons affect us. So, the first thing I want to do is give you a little uh, housekeeping here. And just remember, if you want to know more about me, check out my website, holistichealingastrology.com. And if you'd like to get a copy of the newsletter, I put that out once a month. It's Metaphysical Times, I call it. And I talk about astrology and psychic, intuitive, metaphysical topics. It's a wide range of information. I love doing it. I love sharing my information. And I've been doing this kind of work since I was around 12 years old because I wasn't the best reader in the world. And I remember my teacher in school said to me, "You want to be a better reader? Just pick up books that you like to read, whether they're comic books and stuff, and just read them." So I went to the local library and I was fascinated with the 133 section of the library. If this is way back, but it's a little reference card cataloging number, and that was all the occult. They called it occult, but the supernatural stuff, angels and astrology. So I've been studying astrology for over 50 years and been doing readings, and I was also very intuitive. I played around with cards, and then it kind of like scared me because I didn't know what I was doing. And it was it was so true, and I didn't understand it. I didn't have a mentor, even though my family on my mother's side was very much into like this kind of discussion, metaphysical discussions, but it was not something that, okay, I'm going to go to college and become an astrologer and intuitive reader as a profession, you know. So I was essentially a closet astrologer and psychic medium. And the fortunate thing, though, is as I started to develop this profession, and I was hired by a local place to do these readings, it's like a muscle. When you go to the gym, the more weights you lift, the stronger you get, and the more confident you get. But in the beginning, I was afraid to say what I was feeling. So that's my background. I love what I'm doing. I love the fact that I'm able to use those two tools to help people. So I've been studying this subject for over 50 years, like I said, and so we're going to dive right in to the moons and when the moon is full and when the moon is new and how that reflects on us. Well, the moon is the closest, you could call it planet, but it really isn't. But it's the closest to us, to Earth. It revolves around Earth very quickly, about once a month. It's a lunar cycle, and it also has a great gravitational pull on the water on the planet. The tides go in and out based on the moon. Well, my background in medicine, I know a lot about the body, and we are mostly water and a little electricity. So we are spiritual beings in this body that's mostly water. And the moon does affect us tremendously. You ask any person that works in the hospital or in rescue or policemen, firemen, they'll tell you when there's a full moon. But we don't really talk much about the new moon. So the new moon is when the sun and the moon are together astrologically in the same sign. And that's why it's dark. And when there's a full moon, the sun and the moon are opposite each other. And that's why it's bright. So the moon is a very reflective energy. It has to do with emotions. Our emotions are up and down. because it has to do with the moon, because the moon goes so quickly around the, the, the earth. Also, the moon goes around the whole chart in 28 days. So if you want to follow the moon and see how your emotions go up and down, or how they relate to each house and each sign in your chart, you could do that. It's tedious, but it'd be fun to do. Great exercise to see how your emotions fluctuate, how they are with an earth sign, how they are in an air sign, how the moon is with a fire sign or a water sign. So also the moon represents your mom. It represents your home life. It represents sensitivity, ESP, and things like that. Okay? So the new moon this month in February is going to be on the 11th. And guess what? It's going to be on Aquarius. So if you go back to the video that I spoke of with Mercury in retrograde, which is in Aquarius this month, so is the new moon in Aquarius. So the new moon is, we're going to have feelings of awakening, emotional awakenings. We're going to have aha moments, and we're going to reflect on that and say, oh my goodness. Well, also, it's a time to put out your intentions. So I'm going to, if anyone could relate to all this that I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up or give me a heart. Let me know where your moon is. I'd love to know where your moon is, because like my moon is in Taurus. So when it comes to emotions, you're not going to see the emotions. I'm very slow to release my feelings, and slow for temper and things like that. And for me, what makes me feel good is anything Taurus, which Taurus is ruled by Venus, and we just talked about that in the other video. Venus has to do with all the things that you love. Like in the background, you can see these little things that I like. I like my little Swarovski crystal, and I just like to look at the stuff that I love, and I also love my plants. You can't see the chairs right behind me, but in front of me I have plants, behind me I have plants, by the window I have plants everywhere. They're very good for us. That's very Venus, okay? So I also like to cook. I also like to eat. So I have to go to the gym a lot, so to keep the weight down, because we like to eat. So that's all the sensorial aspects is the Mercury. So this moon, and now the moon, you have to look at that and see, if you want to know what makes you happy or what makes you feel good. And it also describes your mom too. So anyhow, take a look on your chart, and figure it out. If you have any trouble, you can't find it, shoot me a line, and I'll help you out. Okay? So this moon now is going to go into the big party of Aquarius. There's a huge party going on with Aquarius, and you could check out my other video on the Aquarius stellium. So that was in the Mercury retrograde for February. So we have 7 energies going on in Aquarius, and then we throw in the moon, the new moon. So what do we do on the new moon? New moon is like taking a little seed, and I love doing this because my moon's in Taurus. You take that little seed and you put it in the dirt. That's your intention. And the new moon is when you set your intentions and you put that seed in the dirt. Now, when is that seed going to sprout? It depends on the germination. It depends on the universe. So we have a lot of limiting blocks that will slow down the germination. So I'm going to take a little side note, guys, and tell you how to do a new moon journal, okay? So the new moon journal, here's your journal, right? I got a new one here, and it's always good to start a new moon journal with something brand new, never been used before, and then you date it on the new moon, and it is in Aquarius, so we're going to be focusing on intentions that have to do with groups, community, anything Aquarian, what your genius is, what your originality is, what kind of groups and an awakening, what is awakening inside of you, and what do you want to intend to do moving forward in the future. So the new moon effect in Aquarius will be starting now, and it works up to 6 months. And it should manifest within 6 months, but if it's a bigger project, you have to be realistic. It may take a longer time to germinate, but you started it. And you know, everything happens in the mind. And Aquarius is of the mind too. It's lightning quick, it's genius, it's the mind, but it's an expanded mind because it has to do with global and humanitarian thinking. It's we're all one. So take your journal, write your intention. You could put a few down. And if you don't want to focus it on Aquarian energies, that's okay. Focus on whatever you want to see happen in this month. Make it fun, make it simple, and that's it for the new moon. Now, for the full moon is going to be it's a different energy. It's not going to be light like the new moon. It's going to be on the 27th of February, and it's going to be 8 degrees Virgo. So the new moon was 23 degrees Aquarius. The full moon is going to be 8 degrees Virgo. So Virgo is an earth sign, but it's also a mutable sign, which means it likes change. And so your feelings and your emotions are going to want to move slowly into that kind of Virgo energy, be of service, take care of our health, that kind of thing. So what you do on a full moon is you release. So what kind of things are we going to be releasing? We are going to be releasing things that don't serve us anymore. You know, maybe not being so much of service to everybody else. Maybe focusing more on yourself instead of everyone else. Maybe releasing bad health habits, because Virgo has to do with health habits. It's also a great time to organize and maybe declutter your home and make it more pleasing to you. So how you do that is you just take a Post-it, a piece of paper, anything, and you write down your release, whatever you want to release. And I have my fireplace in the back over there. I just burn it in the fireplace. That's pretty safe. If you're not comfortable burning it, you could, trash it, shred it, or whatever you want to do. Or you could burn it in the sink. Just be really careful. So that's what the full moon is about. And it's a time to let go of things. So we have a new moon and a full moon every month. And it's a good idea to always, set a new intention. It's a new beginning. Plant your seeds. But it's also a good thing to pull the little weeds and pull the things out that don't serve us anymore. Get rid of it. And that gives you a fresh mind and comfortable living. If you don't throw anything out and you don't get rid of stuff, well, that will make things tough. So let me know what you're thinking. Have you felt these energies? Have you ever done a new moon journal, or have you ever done a full moon release? Another thing I'm going to add is there are rituals that go with the new moon time and a full moon time, and you could cleanse the space. You know how to do that. Some people use sage. Whatever you do, make sure, remember that when you use sage, you're getting rid of everything, the good and the bad. So that cleans up everything. So you might want to replace some good energy with a special sweet incense, or the San Paulo stick. Burn that, and that will infuse good vibes. Okay. And you could do the similar thing, do a little ritual. You could ground yourself and do your release. Whatever feels comfortable for you. I'm not one of those, you have to do it my way. Um, you could figure out what you want to do. There are a lot of people talking about their rituals. Um, but with the moons, if you could see the moon and kind of communicate with the moon, um, that helps. So when the moon is nice and full, kind of give it a look and say, today I'm going to release a lot of things that no longer serve me. And when the moon is full, you might not see anything in the sky, but it's new when the moon is new, and you're going to set some intentions. So engage all your senses in these activities. I'm so grateful to have you in my community. Again, subscribe to the channel. We put out videos about twice a week, once or twice a week. We have the Facebook page, Instagram, all Holistic Healing Astrology. And you want to hear more about me or see more about me, you go on my website, www.holistichealingastrology. Give me a thumbs up, share these videos with all your friends, and let me know if there's anything I could do for you. You want that free newsletter? Go on my website and email me, and I'll get you on the list. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.